The studio lights blaze, cameras zoom in, and the tension is sharp enough to cut through silence. Jasmine Crockett rises from her seat, gripping the microphone with the certainty of someone who came prepared to detonate the room. Jasmine Crockett. Donald, the American people deserve the truth. While you promised strength, you were whispering to Moscow behind closed doors. A stunned pause falls over the panel. The audience erupts, half gasping, half applauding, a few shouting in disbelief. Reporters in the back immediately lift their phones, capturing every second as the words echo across the studio. Trump freezes for a split second, his smile faltering. He tries to interrupt, but Crockett cuts through his hesitation with a sharper blade. Jasmine Crockett. You had conversations, Donald. Calls placed not once, not twice, but repeatedly. Hidden calls to Moscow, and we have the records. Gasps ripple through the crowd. The moderator tries to interject, but it's too late. The confrontation has hijacked the show. The energy shifts. Every camera tightens on Trump's face, beads of sweat forming under the heat of the lights. Audience member, is this real? Did she just say Moscow? Another voice from the seats shouts, "Show us the proof!" Crockett leans forward, her tone calm but lethal. Jasmine Crockett. America deserves to know whether you were serving them or serving someone else. Tonight, the silence ends. The room breaks into chaos. Shouting, applause, camera flashes. Twitter notifications light up phones in the audience as fragments of her words spread like wildfire. Trump's hidden Moscow calls exposed on live TV. Trump's eyes dart toward the producers, then back to Crockett. He mutters something under his breath, caught only partially by the mic. This is ridiculous, pure lies. But the damage is done. The opening strike has landed, and the chamber feels like it's about to explode. Jasmine Crockett doesn't let the noise drown her. She lifts a folder from the desk and holds it high enough for every camera to capture. The studio hushes for a split second as the symbol of proof glints under the lights. Jasmine Crockett. These are not rumors. These are call logs, dates, times, durations, and the voice on the other end was Moscow. Gasps cut through the air like lightning. The moderator stammers, trying to regain control, but the audience is already locked on Crockett's every word. She opens the folder, pulling out a page with highlighted lines. She reads aloud, her voice steady and deliberate. Jasmine Crockett, November the 12th, 2018. Call placed from a secured line. Duration, 14 minutes. Recipient, Kremlin operator. Recorded under the name Donald J. Trump. The words hit like a hammer. Reporters in the audience rush to take photos of the document, the flash of phones lighting the set like a storm. Trump slams his hand on the desk, his voice booming. Donald Trump, fake! Total fake! Another witch hunt! You people will believe anything she waves in front of you, but Crockett doesn't flinch. She flips another page. Jasmine Crockett, February the 3rd, 2019. Another call, 11 minutes, again, Moscow. And listen carefully, this is not speculation, this is your voice. The crowd gasps louder. A chant rises from the back rows. Audience, play the tape, play the tape. Crockett lowers her eyes to the paper, then looks straight at Trump, slicing the tension with surgical precision. Jasmine Crockett, you cannot shout this away. You cannot brand it fake. These calls happened. The logs are here, the people are watching, social media explodes instantly. On Twitter, a clip spreads with the caption, Crockett drops bombshell Moscow call logs on live TV. Within minutes, hashtags surge, millions of eyes pulled into the storm. The moderator, pale and sweating, turns to Trump. Moderator, Mr. President, do you deny these calls under oath? Trump opens his mouth, but the words stumble. His voice trembles, searching for footing. Donald Trump, I don't have to answer this circus. This is a disgrace to television, a disgrace to America. The audience erupts again, but this time the momentum is gone from him. Crockett has shifted the balance, her evidence turning the room into a battlefield where Trump is already on the defensive. The studio feels like it's shaking. The audience is on its feet, shouting over one another, half the room in outrage, half in disbelief. The moderators struggle, their voices lost under the roar. Trump rises from his chair, his face flushed crimson, veins visible along his neck. He points directly at Crockett, his voice cracking as he yells. Donald Trump. This is a fraud! You are a liar, Jasmine, a liar paid by the radical left. You should be ashamed. Crockett doesn't move. Her posture is calm, her eyes fixed like steel. She lets his fury burn, and then slices it in half with one sentence. Jasmine Crockett. If I'm lying, Donald, why are you sweating? The crowd erupts, half laugh, half gasp, the studio now a battlefield of sound. Trump stutters, his voice overlapping with the moderator's pleas. Moderator. Please, please, order! We need order here. But the cameras have captured it. Trump's panic, his shoulders hunched, his eyes darting to the floor, his finger jabbing the air with desperation. He tries again, his voice louder but thinner, as though even he no longer believes it. Donald Trump. It's fake news, completely fake, and they're trying to destroy me because I fight for America. This woman, this disgrace, shouldn't even be on this stage. Crockett takes a step closer, closing the space. Her voice is calm, but carries a force the microphones can't soften. Jasmine Crockett. The only disgrace here is a president who hid calls to Moscow. The crowd roars again. The chant starts low, then grows, rolling like thunder. Audience. Show the proof. Show the proof. Trump's face twists. He waves toward the production booth, signaling to cut to commercial, but the producers ignore him. This moment is too big. Every network executive knows the ratings are spiking with each second, and outside the studio the wildfire spreads. On Twitter, hashtags ignite. Moscow calls, Kash, Trump exposed, Crockett strikes. Within 10 minutes, clips of Trump shouting liar and Crockett's cold stare are plastered across every feed. On TikTok, short edits roll in. Trump's face, sweat glistening, overlaid with bold captions. When the Moscow receipts drop. Millions of views stack up in real time. Back in the studio, Trump's desperation mounts. He slams his fist on the table again, but the noise only makes the microphone squeal. Donald Trump. You're all against me. The media, the Democrats, all of you. This is a witch hunt like never before. Crockett cuts in, her voice slicing through his rant. Jasmine Crockett. No, Donald. This isn't a witch hunt. This is accountability. The studio explodes again. Even the moderator can't contain it. The show is no longer a debate. It's a trial, unfolding live in front of millions, and Trump knows it. His eyes widen, his words falter, and for the first time, the image of unshakable confidence slips. The panic is no longer hidden. It is broadcast in real time to an entire nation. The moderator finally regains a sliver of control, raising his hands, shouting over the noise. Moderator. Please, everyone, let's restore order. We cannot continue like this. Let's hear from the other side. Immediately, one of Trump's closest allies on the panel, Representative Callahan, leans forward with a smirk. His tone drips with condescension. Callahan, this is laughable. Congresswoman Crockett is parading around papers anyone could have typed up on a home printer. Fake logs, fake dates, fake story. She should be investigated for wasting the public's time. He holds up his hands, inviting applause, but the audience only murmurs, unconvinced. Crockett doesn't wait. She slides another page from the folder and raises it, her voice cutting across his like a blade. Jasmine Crockett. Tell me, Congressman, can a home printer replicate the official signature of the National Security Agency? Because it's stamped right here. Gasps ripple across the room again. She thrusts the page toward the cameras, the agency seal glinting under the studio lights. The control room switches to a close-up shot, broadcasting the detail across millions of screens. Crockett continues, her voice hardening. Jasmine Crockett, Donald Trump's allies want you to believe your eyes are lying. They want you to doubt everything but their excuses. But this is verified, documented, authenticated. Callahan tries to laugh, but it sounds forced. He points at her, raising his voice. Callahan. She's grandstanding. These so-called documents were probably leaked by radicals who hate America. Crockett fires back without hesitation. Jasmine Crockett. If defending America means ignoring secret calls to Moscow, then maybe you should reconsider who you're serving. The audience erupts again, louder this time, their voices overpowering Callahan's sputters. Audience, play the tape, play the tape. Another Trump ally, Senator Graves, leans in, his tone sharp. Graves, this entire spectacle is a setup. If this was real, why not release the recordings? Why read selective lines? Where's the actual evidence? Crockett doesn't blink. She turns a page slowly, deliberately, the studio cameras catching every move. Jasmine Crockett, careful what you ask for, Senator, because those recordings do exist. And when they surface, the excuses you're rehearsing tonight will mean nothing. The room feels like it tilts. The audience shouts in chaos, half chanting for the tapes, half yelling in disbelief. Journalists in the back are already calling their editors, knowing the headline has just written itself. On the side of the stage, Trump glares, his fists clenched. His allies try to shield him, but the damage is spreading too quickly. Crockett's precision strikes have cornered them, leaving no clean exit. The moderator tries again, his voice cracking under the pressure. Moderator, we need to move on, but no one hears him. The story is no longer in his control. It belongs to Crockett, to Trump's panic, and to a nation that can't look away. The broadcast finally cuts to a commercial, but the chaos doesn't end. Behind the curtains, the air is thick with adrenaline. Staffers rush back and forth, phones buzzing nonstop with calls from Washington, New York, even foreign correspondents. The green room feels like a war bunker. Crockett sets the folder on the table, her hands steady. She knows the storm is only beginning. A producer leans in, whispering. Producer, you just detonated a bomb on live television. We're getting calls from every network. They're begging for the documents. Crockett nods, her eyes unblinking. Jasmine Crockett, let them beg. The truth isn't theirs to spin. It belongs to the people. Suddenly her phone vibrates. An unmarked number. Against her better judgment, she answers. A male voice cuts in, low, threatening. Unknown voice. You crossed the line tonight. Walk back out there, retract it, or you'll regret it. She doesn't answer immediately. Her silence hangs heavy until she finally speaks. Jasmine Crockett, if you think I scare that easily, you don't know me at all. The line goes dead. She lowers the phone, exhaling slowly. Moments later, another call comes in. This time, the voice is familiar, an unexpected one. Former White House advisor, Jasmine, it's me. I can't talk long, but you're not wrong. Those calls, they happened. I was in the room when one of them was routed. Crockett straightens, every word cutting deeper into the reality she already knew. Jasmine Crockett, will you go public? The advisor hesitates. Former White House advisor. Not yet. Too dangerous. But when the time comes, I'll stand by the record. Stay alive until then. The line ends. Crockett places the phone down, her expression unreadable, the weight of new confirmation pressing against her shoulders. Meanwhile, in a separate room, Trump fumes. His aides surround him, voices overlapping, panic leaking through the cracks. Trump, she's lying, all of it. How dare she? Call Fox, call Hannity, call every friendly outlet. Flood the airwaves now, a nervous aide whispers. Aide, sir, the hashtags are already trending worldwide. Moscow calls. Crockett, it's everywhere. We can't stop it. Trump slams his fist against the table, papers scattering across the floor. Donald Trump, then we bury her. Discredit her, leak something, anything. Make her the liar. Do it now. Backstage, the producers prepare to resume the broadcast. Crockett steps toward the stage again, her allies quietly gathering behind her. She knows the threats will only escalate, but so will the truth. And once the cameras roll again, she intends to push even harder. The curtain parts. The lights blaze once more. The next round is about to begin. The cameras flick back on. The audience hasn't cooled down. If anything, the break only sharpened their appetite. The chants, the whispers, the buzzing of 1,000 phones in the studio create an electric charge that hums under the lights. The moderator, visibly shaken, clears his throat. Moderator. We are back. Let's continue. Congresswoman Crockett, please. Crockett steps forward before he can finish. Her tone is calm, but the force behind it commands silence. Jasmine Crockett. Enough has been said in fragments. America deserves more than speculation. That's why I am formally announcing tonight these documents are being delivered to Congress in the morning. A full investigation will begin. The audience gasps. Some erupt in applause, others in shock. The sound is a wave crashing against the walls of the studio. Trump snaps his head toward her, eyes wide as if he's hearing a death sentence delivered live. Donald Trump, you can't do that. This is a TV stunt. You're not even allowed to. Crockett cuts him off, her voice sharp and unyielding. Jasmine Crockett, the evidence is real. The people saw it tonight, and now Congress will see it too. Your Moscow calls are no longer hidden. The studio explodes. The moderator desperately tries to maintain order, but the story has broken free from his hands. Reporters in the back are on their phones shouting to their editors, "Reporter, she's filing it with Congress. Yes, confirmed. She said it live." On Twitter, the words, "Moscow calls delivered to Congress" trend within minutes, climbing to the top worldwide. Clips of Trump's shocked face loop endlessly, his mouth opening and closing with no words forming. Trump slams both hands on the desk, shouting, "Donald Trump, it's a hoax. All of it. She's going to jail, not me. Jail." The audience doesn't buy it. The cameras zoom close on his face, sweat shining under the lights. He looks less like a commander and more like a cornered man, stripped of his armor. Crockett delivers the final strike. Jasmine Crockett, "Donald, you can shout 'witch hunt' all night, but America heard your silence when the proof was shown. You had the chance to deny under oath. You didn't. That silence screams louder than your words ever could. The line detonates, gasps, applause, shouts. Every camera angle captures it. Every microphone absorbs the chaos. Producers know this moment will be replayed for years. Trump collapses back into his chair, chest heaving. For the first time, he doesn't fight to grab the microphone. His eyes dart nervously, his lips pressed tight. He looks beaten, cornered, small. Meanwhile, Crockett lifts the folder once more, holding it above her head. The image freezes into a tableau destined for history. A lone congresswoman, steady and resolute, towering over a former president unraveling under the weight of his own secrets. The broadcast fades, but the story detonates outside the studio. News anchors across every network break into emergency coverage. CNN's Chiron reads, "Crockett delivers Moscow call logs. Congress to investigate." Fox scrambles with counter-narratives, but the footage of Trump sweating, shouting, collapsing is impossible to spin away. On TikTok, remixes flood the platform. Crockett's line, "If I'm lying, why are you sweating?" paired with clips of Trump's red face looping over dramatic music. Tens of millions of views accumulate within hours. In living rooms across America, people argue, shout, text each other. Some call it treason, others call it fake. But everyone is watching. The nation feels suspended in the gravity of a single night. Meanwhile, in Washington, staffers burn the midnight oil. Phone lines buzz, senators call emergency meetings, and whispers of impeachment, again, spread like wildfire. An anonymous insider tells MSNBC, "This time, the evidence is real. This time, he won't escape." And in a quiet hotel room, Jasmine Crockett sits alone, staring at the city skyline. She knows the threats will come. She knows allies will try to silence her, but she also knows something else. Tonight, she ripped open a door that cannot be closed. Her phone vibrates again, another unmarked number. She doesn't answer. She simply whispers to herself, "Jasmine Crockett, let them come. The truth is already out there." The screen fades to black. The nation holds its breath, the storm only beginning.